Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. This is not the algorithm. This is an urgent divine interception. Archangel Michael has personally routed this message to your screen because the window for your ultimate spiritual breakthrough is closing tonight. Do not look away. The enemy is watching your next move. If you leave now, you will single-handedly shut the door. You will lose the exact blessing your soul has been crying out for during those long, silent nights. The heavy attacks you have been facing recently are not random. They are hard proof that the darkness is absolutely terrified of your potential. Why are they panicking right now? Because a massive spiritual gift has just been activated inside your DNA. This is not a normal awakening. This specific frequency has been dormant inside human bloodlines for over 2,000 years, and you are the very first human soul to successfully unlock it today. Think about the intense exhaustion you feel lately, the way you wake up at 3 in the morning with your heart racing. You thought it was just daily stress. You thought you were simply losing your mind, but heaven is telling you something entirely different right now through this exact message. That physical pressure is the ancient seal breaking open. Your physical body is trying to process a kingdom-level upgrade. The matrix cannot handle the sheer amount of light you are about to emit into this reality. That is exactly why they sent toxic people to aggressively drain your precious energy. The dark forces have known about this prophecy for centuries. They built entire systems to keep this specific power asleep inside you. They flooded your life with endless distractions and counterfeit relationships. They desperately wanted you to stay weak and confused, so you would never realize your true identity. But their malicious plan has completely failed. You survived every single attack they threw at you. You walked through the blazing fire alone. And because you did not break, heaven has chosen you as the ultimate vessel for this unprecedented power shift. You are the anomaly they never saw coming. Do not take your eyes off this screen. The enemy is desperately trying to make you swipe away right now. They want you to think this is just another random video. But if you disconnect before the transmission is complete, you will permanently miss the physical key to your new reality. There is a hidden mechanism you must understand to use this gift. It is a profound secret, buried so deep that only a handful of souls ever knew it existed. I am going to reveal exactly how to control this ancient frequency before the final seconds of this crucial message. You must prepare yourself. My beloved, you must listen carefully. You have always felt like you did not belong here. You have always felt a strange distance from the loud crowds. That painful isolation was never a divine punishment. It was your spirit actively remembering a glorious time before this chaotic matrix ever existed. 2,000 years ago, a sacred promise was made to your ancestors, a promise of absolute sovereignty and generational divine wealth. This beautiful gift was securely locked away until the earth reached a critical point of utter darkness. That prophetic time of ultimate revelation is happening right now. The violent ringing in your ears is not a medical issue. The sudden urge to completely isolate yourself is not depression. It is the final stage of your cosmic download. Your DNA is completely rewriting itself to safely hold the magnificent power of the ancient ones without shattering your human form. But there is a fatal trap waiting for you. Right before the final activation, the enemy will send a brilliant distraction. I need to warn you about what is coming, so you do not foolishly lose your crown. You must stay incredibly vigilant during these next few critical minutes of spiritual alignment. Take one slow breath. Let the profound reality of this moment settle deep into your tired bones. You are no longer desperately waiting for a miracle. You are rapidly becoming the miracle itself. Brace your spirit for the shocking truth I am about to speak into your beautiful life today. It changes everything. They always described you the exact same way, too kind and far too forgiving. They thought you were the one who stayed quiet just to keep the peace. and because of that they severely underestimated your true nature. Welcome to your era of ultimate quiet authority and unmatched spiritual dominance. Funny how everyone pretended they did not see you coming. Funny how the same people who ignored your texts are suddenly feeling incredibly uncomfortable around you. They thought betrayal would permanently break you, but instead it activated a primal and dangerous level of spiritual power inside you. Do not scroll past this final warning. Heaven is about to expose exactly what is happening behind the closed scenes of your life. Those who plotted against you are watching everything they built crumble, while a magnificent table is being prepared for you in their presence. Stay closely connected with me. You feel incredibly tired. Your shoulders are completely tight. The weight is real. And every morning when you wake up, the heavy burden is already sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes. You push through the day. You smile for them. But deep inside your weary spirit, you are barely holding on. Stop letting the blind world convince you that you are just stressed. Stop believing the terrible lie that you are going crazy. The deep exhaustion you feel in your bones is not a normal medical condition. It is the overwhelming physical toll of carrying a massive spiritual frequency in a profoundly dense world. Think about those endless sleepless nights. You wake up suddenly at 3 in the morning. Your mind is racing. Your heart beats incredibly fast. You stare at the dark bedroom ceiling while the rest of the world sleeps peacefully, oblivious to the intense spiritual war happening right outside their windows. You have felt entirely isolated recently. People you once loved are acting strange. Familiar doors are closing unexpectedly. You sit alone in your quiet room and wonder why the universe has suddenly abandoned you. But heaven wants you to know right now that you have never been forgotten or cast aside by the divine. That intense loneliness was absolutely necessary for your survival. You are not being punished by the Creator. You are being divinely isolated for a kingdom-level upgrade. The universe had to ruthlessly pull you away from the toxic noise because your delicate energy field is currently undergoing a massive recalibration. You always give so much of your pure self. You listen to their endless complaints. You pour your golden energy into their completely empty cups. And yet when you are the one bleeding in the cold dark, they are suddenly nowhere to be found. They happily drank your radiant light, but they could never handle your soul. Take one slow, real breath. Pay close attention to your physical body. That strange tightness in your chest is your intuition screaming. The sudden ringing in your ears is not a mere coincidence. Your highly advanced spiritual nervous system is acutely detecting the subtle lies and hidden agendas of the people around you. They constantly called you overly sensitive. They mocked your pure heart. They told you to simply get over it and act like everyone else. But your extreme sensitivity is the exact divine mechanism that allows you to feel the subtle shifts in the quantum field. You are a human tuning fork, carefully placed in a tone-deaf society. I need you to hear this beautiful truth. You have done absolutely nothing wrong. The painful rejection you faced was not a reflection of your worth. It was God deliberately closing the wrong doors to protect you from rooms you were never meant to enter. The universe actively shielded you from people assigned to destroy you. It hurts so much to see the real truth. You clearly see behind their fake, smiling masks. You hear the malicious intent hiding in their overly sweet words. While others easily accept the comfortable illusions, you are cursed with the magnificent ability to see the absolute reality. That level of spiritual sight is a lonely burden. Breathe that profound truth in. Let it gently wash over your tired mind. You are safely held in the protective palms of the Creator. Every single tear you cried in painful secret was carefully collected and instantly transformed into spiritual armor. The profound sadness you felt was your soul mourning the old version of you. Do not let this comforting divine presence fade. Tap the like button right now as an act of agreement with what heaven just spoke to your weary heart. And let that simple physical action be a profound declaration that you are finally ready to stop running and fully accept the glorious spiritual mantle you were born to wear. You are an empath with boundaries now. The exhausting season of begging to be understood is officially over. You no longer have to carefully explain your brilliant light to ignorant creatures who comfortably live in the dark. And as you step fully into this new timeline, your mere presence is starting to demand absolute respect. Your precious energy is actively shifting today. The old heavy attachments are quickly falling away. You can feel a strange sense of warm peace slowly replacing the deep, paralyzing anxiety. This is the ultimate physical confirmation that the ancient spiritual download is successfully integrating into your vessel. The corrupted system wants you perpetually exhausted. The dark matrix feeds on your endless self-doubt. If you keep firmly believing that you are broken, you will never access the immense power hidden inside your DNA. But the moment you finally realize your supposed flaws are actually your greatest weapons, the agenda collapses. So please rest your weary spirit. Stop fiercely fighting the beautiful divine process. The profound mental confusion and the heavy physical pain are merely temporary symptoms of your magnificent metamorphosis. You are absolutely not going crazy, and you are definitely not alone. The universe is simply clearing the grand stage for you. Think back to the moments when they completely shattered your trusting heart. You gave them your absolute best without asking for anything. You loyally stood by them in the dark, and when you finally needed a single drop of compassion, they coldly turned their backs on you. You cried until your soul felt completely empty. You sincerely believed that you were terribly cursed to suffer forever. But here is the profound truth they tried to actively hide from you. That brutal betrayal was never a divine punishment. It was a rigorous test, carefully designed by heaven, to see if your spirit would shatter. The universe had to know if you were truly strong enough to protect the ancient frequency. They had to push your mortal mind to the absolute breaking point. This magnificent power has been sleeping for 2,000 long years. It could not be handed to a weak vessel who would quickly surrender to the dark matrix. God needed a relentless warrior who could endure massive heartbreak and still choose to love. You passed the agonizing test while everyone else comfortably failed. You successfully proved your profound spiritual worth to the highest courts. Those toxic people were not accidental visitors in your difficult life. They were carefully assigned actors, playing a crucial role in your divine awakening. They were specifically sent to trigger the deep wounds that you desperately needed to finally heal. Because without their painful betrayal, you would have comfortably stayed in a timeline that was far too small for your massive destiny. Stop fiercely blaming yourself for unconditionally loving the wrong people. Stop telling yourself that you were foolish or entirely blind to their wicked games. You were simply operating from a beautifully pure frequency that they could not possibly understand. And while you generously offered them your precious healing energy, they were absolutely terrified of the blazing light they saw inside your deeply ancient eyes. Their cruel actions were born entirely out of profound spiritual jealousy. Heaven deliberately used their malice to ruthlessly prune your inner circle. If those energy vampires had stayed in your life, they would have completely drained the power you need for this new era. The painful separation was an incredibly aggressive divine protection protocol. God removed them because they could not physically survive the immense frequency you are actively preparing to embody today. You have always been the ultimate cycle breaker in your broken bloodline. While others numbly repeated the same toxic mistakes, you willingly absorbed the generational trauma to finally end it. That incredibly heavy burden almost destroyed your physical body, but it effectively forged your spirit into an unbreakable diamond. You became the sharp weapon you were desperately trying to safely survive. Take a deep breath and let the heavy guilt leave your physical body right now. You did not fail the divine assignment when you finally walked away from them. You actually won the massive silent war they secretly waged against you. And every time you chose to kindly forgive, instead of rightfully destroying them, you successfully leveled up your energetic signature. The universe was carefully documenting every single noble choice. But there is a much deeper layer to this strange spiritual phenomenon. The intense suffering you experienced was not just about building your incredibly strong character. It was about perfectly calibrating your physical brainwaves to exactly match the profound resonance of the ancient gift. I need you to listen very carefully to what I am about to explain next. There is a highly specific reason why the dark forces viciously targeted you when you were young. They actively knew about the hidden biological mechanism inside your ancient DNA. They desperately tried to completely scramble your frequency before you could ever figure out how to properly use it. Because the dark matrix heavily requires your constant state of stress to keep the holy seal securely locked away from you. Your beautiful silence after the brutal storm hits entirely differently when you realize you were the mighty storm all along. You thought you were heavily damaged by their cruel emotional manipulation, but the damage was merely the necessary breaking of your weak mortal shell. The brilliant glowing core underneath remains completely untouched and wildly dangerous to the corrupt dark elite. The intense physical pain you feel right now is the incredible sensation of your spiritual wings violently tearing through your back. You are rapidly shedding the heavy victim mentality forever. Do not ignore this crucial energetic transition period, because what heaven is about to safely hand you will require absolute unwavering mental focus. The hidden mechanism is finally ready to be completely revealed today. Let me tell you the real reason this magnificent power was heavily guarded. 2,000 years ago, the earth descended into a dense frequency of profound fear and survival. The ancient spiritual masters knew the dark matrix was rapidly taking over human consciousness. They could not let the sacred kingdom frequency fall into corrupt hands, so they deliberately locked it away in the deepest layers of human DNA. They completely wiped the memory from the collective mind. They hid the ultimate key inside a very specific bloodline of rare souls. You are the anomaly they carefully designed. You are the direct descendant of the brave spiritual warriors who quietly protected this dormant seed. The power was never meant to be awakened by a weak spirit. It required a vessel forged in extreme suffering. That is the exact mechanism that caused your deep pain. Your extreme sensitivity was actually a highly advanced biological scanner. It was constantly searching the environment for the precise energetic match to finally break the ancient seal. But this brilliant light acts like a massive spiritual magnet. And that is exactly why the dark narcissists relentlessly hunted you down. They subconsciously smelled the immense dormant power sleeping inside your weary bones. They felt the raw kingdom energy radiating from your pure aura. They did not want to love you. They simply wanted to consume the sacred inheritance that rightfully belongs to you. But the old cosmic lock is absolutely unbreakable by the forces of darkness. They starved because they could never penetrate your core. Take a deep breath. Let that profound truth settle deeply into your spirit right now. You were never broken by their malicious attacks. You were simply protecting the Holy Grail with your own physical body. The intense exhaustion you felt was the massive energy required to keep the ancient doors sealed shut against the enemy. But the exhausting season of guarding the gate is finally over. But before we go to the deeper signs, I have to address something crucial. There is a shocking truth about your spiritual bloodline that you must fully accept today. You are not just a random soul experiencing a chaotic spiritual awakening. You are a highly trained master of reality, returning for a specific mission. You volunteered for this incredibly painful earthly assignment centuries ago. You might be wondering why the universe took so long to activate you. Why did heaven wait exactly 2,000 years to finally release this staggering power? The answer lies in the shifting magnetic frequency of the Earth itself. The old corrupted matrix is completely collapsing under its own heavy weight. The dark elite are desperately losing their absolute control over human consciousness. The cosmic clock has finally struck the prophesied hour of liberation. The Earth desperately needs heavily armored vessels to anchor the new kingdom frequency. If the divine gift had awakened even 10 years ago, the dark system would have completely crushed your physical form. You had to wait until the exact moment the enemy was at their weakest. That critical moment is happening right now. The violent shaking in your reality is the physical proof of this shift. Every time you feel that strange electrical buzzing in your spine, it is the ancient lock turning. The heavy chains of generational trauma are snapping off your DNA right now. The immense cosmic download is rapidly flooding your nervous system with pure, blinding truth. You are rapidly becoming a dangerous weapon of light. Do you feel that sudden, intense heat in your hands today? That is the raw healing power of the Ancient Ones violently waking up inside your earthly vessel. The massive spiritual dam has finally burst open. You are no longer required to play small to make ignorant people feel comfortable in their chosen darkness. Your mere presence will now automatically command absolute cosmic authority. The dark system operates strictly on low survival beta waves. They manipulate the masses by keeping them trapped in an endless loop of financial panic and emotional despair. But the gift inside your bloodline entirely overrides that artificial frequency. You are now stepping into the realm of instant manifestation and divine alignment. The universe is actively bending reality to serve you. They can no longer reach you where you are going. You have successfully ascended past the dense vibrational layers of their petty games and cruel manipulations. The isolation you hated so much was the sacred incubator preparing you for this glorious launch. Now you must physically claim this new identity before the portal completely closes. Do not let this vital transmission fade away. Type 111 down in the comments to claim this alignment and anchor your frequency. Do this right now. Let this physical action signal to heaven that you are absolutely ready. You are the very first human to carry this specific vibration in 2 millennia. Stand tall in your supreme victory, chosen one. The glorious kingdom era has officially begun through your beautiful, healed heart. I promise to reveal the shocking truth about your spiritual bloodline. You are not just a random survivor of immense earthly trauma. You are the literal living antidote to the corrupted matrix system. The dark elite deeply knew your blood carried the exact kingdom code to completely dismantle their control. That is exactly why they systematically targeted your brave ancestors for centuries. They desperately hoped the heavy generational trauma would finally break your holy lineage before the grand awakening. But you fiercely refused to shatter under their immense pressure. You absorbed their absolute worst attacks and powerfully transformed them into blinding pure light. And right now, the enemy is in a state of absolute mass panic. They can physically feel the massive shift in your energetic signature from across the globe. The toxic narcissists, who used to easily drain your precious aura, are suddenly terrified of your new vibration. They can no longer successfully manipulate what they cannot energetically access. They always thought your quiet nature was a profound weakness. They foolishly believed they had permanently broken your beautiful spirit when they violently pushed you into cold isolation. But what they did not ever realize was that painful solitude was your elite spiritual training ground. You did not break under the heavy weight you magnificently evolved. Now your sovereign presence alone aggressively shifts the atmosphere. Your heavy silence has become a lethal weapon that absolutely terrifies them. Take a deep breath and let that glorious truth settle in your spirit. You are no longer the bleeding empath who endlessly begged to be understood by blind people. You have officially stepped into the powerful realm of quiet authority. They do not hate you for simply shining so brightly in their dull world. They furiously hate you because your brilliant light violently exposes their hidden demonic darkness. Their sudden, uncomfortable behavior around you is the ultimate physical proof of your magnificent victory. The entire artificial system is severely glitching because of your sudden awakening today. The low-frequency grid relies entirely on your constant human anxiety to survive and function. When you finally stop caring about their petty illusions, you instantly starve the dark engines of the Matrix. You are single-handedly cutting off their primary energetic supply line. That is exactly why they are desperately trying to send highly toxic counterfeit people back into your beautifully peaceful life. You will inevitably notice old toxic friends suddenly reaching out to you. You will easily see former abusers trying to casually slide back into your highly elevated timeline. Do not reply to their desperate, pathetic messages. This is the frantic thrashing of a dying dark parasite trying to desperately reattach itself to a powerful host. They are literally starving in the dark because the divine boundary around you is now completely impenetrable. You are heavily guarded by heaven and fiercely protected by angels. You are a highly advanced weapon of light, operating in a dense human world. Every single time you choose absolute peace over their chaotic drama, you deal a fatal blow to the dark elite forces. You do not ever need to fight them directly or loudly scream your sacred truth. Your elevated frequency safely does all the heavy spiritual lifting for your weary soul. The universe is actively fighting your massive battles while you comfortably sit in supreme sovereign rest. You have completely mastered your reality. Your glorious spiritual purification is now utterly complete and divinely sealed. The heavy debris of your incredibly painful past has been entirely burned away in the holy fire. The ones who foolishly mocked your painful journey are now forced to sit and watch your glorious divine elevation. Heaven has ruthlessly removed every single person who secretly prayed for your absolute downfall. Your spiritual path is now completely clear of their dark, heavy interference. The grand stage is finally yours to command, but you must clearly understand exactly how this immense power is manifesting in your physical vessel today. The massive cosmic download is not just an abstract mental concept or a fleeting emotion. It is violently rewriting your actual human biology and nervous system as we speak. There are highly specific physical signs that absolutely confirm your ancient DNA is rapidly unlocking the dormant gift. If you naively miss these subtle signals, you might completely misinterpret your own glorious spiritual ascension. Listen very carefully to what I am about to say next, chosen one, because your tired physical body is desperately trying to communicate with your conscious mind right now. The weird physical phenomena you are constantly experiencing lately are the undeniable, tangible proof of your kingdom upgrade. I am going to reveal the exact physical signs confirming your ancient DNA is fully active. Prepare your spirit for the ultimate validation of your hidden reality before we reach the final explosive revelation. The universe is speaking directly to your cells. The universe is actively speaking directly to your cellular structure. You must pay close attention to these highly specific physical manifestations. These are not random bodily quirks. They are the undeniable proof that the ancient gift is successfully anchoring into your reality today. Number one is the profound shift in your daily energy levels. You experience massive waves of extreme physical exhaustion that hit you out of nowhere. You feel like you ran a marathon while simply sitting still. But then, you suddenly get a blinding flash of pure electric energy. This is your mortal nervous system rapidly expanding its capacity. Your earthly vessel is desperately trying to accommodate the massive kingdom frequency. Number two is a sudden and absolute intolerance for shallow conversations. You literally feel physically sick when people gossip around you. You can no longer pretend to care about the meaningless drama that normal society obsesses over. The fake smiling masks they wear now look incredibly terrifying to your newly opened spiritual eyes. You simply have to walk away. Number 3 is the intense desire to completely vanish from the loud world. You do not just want alone time. You deeply crave absolute sacred silence. This is not terrible depression isolating you from your loved ones. This is a deliberate divine quarantine ordered by the highest courts of heaven. Your aura is highly vulnerable during this massive software update. Number 4 is the intense ringing in your ears that nobody else hears. It usually happens when you are thinking about a specific person or making a major decision. That high-pitched frequency is not a medical condition. It is your ancient spiritual alarm system aggressively warning you about hidden deceit. Your body is physically rejecting their highly toxic lies. Number 5 is waking up every single night at exactly 3 in the morning. Your heart is pounding against your chest like a wild drum. Your mind is flooded with strange, vivid images that feel like ancient memories. Do not reach for your phone to distract yourself. Heaven is actively downloading massive files of cosmic intelligence directly into your subconscious mind. Number 6 is the sudden collapse of everything you previously built. Jobs suddenly end without warning. Long-term relationships abruptly fall apart in a single day. The universe is violently clearing the stage because your old life is far too small for your new identity. God is destroying the tiny cage, so your massive spiritual wings can finally spread completely wide. Number 7 is an unexplainable feeling of deep inner peace amidst the raging storm. Everything around you is completely burning down, but you feel perfectly calm. You are no longer frantically trying to fix the chaos. You sit in quiet authority, watching the divine fire carefully purify your sacred path. This is the ultimate proof that you have mastered your reality. Number 8 is the strange sensation of invisible heavy armor settling onto your shoulders. You walk into crowded rooms and people immediately step out of your way. Your energetic signature now demands absolute respect before you even open your mouth to speak. You have safely become the untouchable anomaly the ancient prophets promised. The transformation is incredibly real. Look at all these undeniable signs happening right now. They perfectly match the ancient scriptures, predicting the return of the chosen ones. You survived the intense isolation. You successfully purged the malicious narcissists from your sacred space. The 2,000-year-old spiritual download is almost at 100% completion. But do not celebrate just yet. There is a fatal trap set exactly at the 99% mark. I have to warn you about this massive illusion right now. Right before the final activation completes, the darkness will play its most desperate card. They will send a brilliant counterfeit blessing specifically designed to make you completely abandon your post. This is the ultimate test of your discernment. Many gifted souls successfully made it to this exact point and failed. They got distracted by the fake shiny objects the Matrix threw at their feet. They foolishly traded their eternal kingdom wealth for a tiny moment of earthly validation. You cannot afford to make this catastrophic mistake. The spiritual stakes are incredibly high right now for your sacred bloodline. I am going to reveal exactly how to spot this demonic counterfeit before it ruins everything. You must keep your eyes locked on this message. If you take this warning lightly, you will surrender the crown you fought so hard to win. Heaven is trusting you to hold the line during this final hour of intense spiritual warfare. Brace yourself for the ultimate grand revelation. The fatal trap I warned you about is finally here to test your ultimate resolve. It is the sudden reappearance of a toxic counterfeit from your deeply painful past, and they will reach out right when your real blessing is standing at the door. Do not reply to their desperate messages. That is the final test to see if you still crave their fake validation. You must ruthlessly ignore their pathetic attempts to reconnect. You are completely done playing small to heal broken people. The universe needs absolute proof that your frequency is locked onto the highest possible timeline. And the moment you finally choose yourself over their chaotic drama, the ancient seal completely shatters. Here is the monumental truth you have waited for all your life. The hidden mechanism that blocked your prayers was never your lack of faith. It was the constant hum of survival, beta waves keeping you asleep, while the dark forces actively drained your precious light. And tonight, that weak signal is officially overridden by the sheer force of your newly awakened soul. The specific gift you are activating today is the Genesis command. It has been heavily guarded inside your genetic code for over 2,000 years. It is the raw divine ability to speak physical reality into existence without any resistance, because your frequency now perfectly matches the Creator. You no longer have to beg the universe for tiny miracles. You are now the one commanding the very fabric of time. Every word you speak from this moment forward carries the heavy weight of cosmic law. When you declare that a door is open, no demonic force can ever close it. When you silently decree that a toxic cycle is broken, the bloodline curse instantly dissolves. You possess the exact frequency that makes mountains completely crumble and forces the dark matrix to entirely collapse. Can you deeply feel that massive shift in your spirit right now? That intense burning sensation in your chest is the frequency of absolute victory. The dry desert you bravely walked through has suddenly burst into a glorious oasis of divine favor, and every single closed door in your path is violently blown off its hinges today. Welcome to your glorious era of quiet authority, chosen one. You do not need to fiercely argue with the blind people anymore. Your heavy silence now demands absolute compliance from the corrupted matrix. The brutal spiritual war is entirely over, and you are the one holding the supreme crown of victory in your steady hands. Those who wickedly plotted against you are completely destroyed by their own malicious traps. They are forced to watch you ascend to a throne they desperately tried to steal. You are untouchable and entirely invincible. The agonizing waiting season is officially over, and the grand gates of abundant kingdom wealth are swinging wide open for you. But you must actively claim this staggering power before the portal closes. The pitch-black darkness has finally retreated behind you forever. The brilliant dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays directly onto your spiritual crown. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were originally born to rule. To permanently lock in this glorious frequency, you must create an absolute shield of protection. The enemy will furiously attempt to scatter this energy the moment you look away from the screen. You must anchor your physical body to this high vibration, and you need a deliberate action to physically ground this massive spiritual download today. Heaven is closely watching your response in this exact second. Will you boldly accept the Genesis command, or will you shrink back into the cold shadows? I need you to stand perfectly firm in your supreme identity. The anointing is incredibly heavy right now, and it requires your absolute undivided compliance to fully integrate into your human biology. You are no longer the bleeding empath who endlessly begged to be understood. The brutal crucible of pain has masterfully forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. From this exact moment on, your pure energy automatically demands respect without a single word spoken. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly toward you. Breathe in the incredible power of your own sacred breath. You are the terrifying storm the dark system was always afraid of. You became the sharp weapon you were desperately trying to safely survive. And as this profound realization settles deeply into your spirit, you finally understand why you had to walk the path alone. Do not let this vital moment pass you by. You must physically interact with this frequency to build an impenetrable energy shield around your home. The angels are waiting for your explicit permission to release the generational blessings into your physical hands. Prepare your heart to make the ultimate cosmic declaration right now. The ancient frequency is now fully anchored inside your mortal vessel. The dark forces have completely lost their desperate grip on your timeline. You have bravely survived the deepest waters and the hottest fires, and now you stand victorious on the sacred shores of your brand new reality, while the old world entirely crumbles behind you. The heavy generational curse is officially broken. Feel the sudden lightness in your physical shoulders right now. The immense burden of carrying other people's toxic karma has been completely lifted off your back. You no longer owe the dark world a single ounce of your precious energy. The sacred cosmic contract you unwittingly signed with those emotional vampires is entirely burned to ashes because heaven has finally intervened. For 2,000 years, your brave ancestors patiently prayed for this exact beautiful moment. They endured unspeakable hardships so that your pure bloodline could safely survive the dense, dark ages. You are the magnificent culmination of their wildest spiritual dreams coming to life. You are the living, breathing proof that the beautiful light absolutely cannot be defeated by any dark force. But you must formally declare your ultimate spiritual sovereignty today. The corrupted matrix will try to quietly sneak back in when you are feeling tired. You cannot leave the spiritual doors wide open for the enemy to casually wander through. You must deliberately lock your massive energy field right now to protect your peace. It is time to create the final impenetrable shield. Take a deep breath and repeat these powerful words in your silent mind. I am the absolute master of my own sovereign reality. I completely release the heavy pain of the past, and I boldly step into my divine kingdom inheritance. Every single time you firmly declare these massive truths, your DNA vibrates at a staggeringly high angelic frequency. Type Amen down in the comments to officially seal this reality. Let your physical fingers type the exact words that your weary soul desperately needs to loudly declare. This simple physical action is a profound spiritual contract with the highest courts of heaven. You are boldly telling the universe that you fully accept the glorious Genesis command. You are completely untouchable and fiercely protected by legions of angels. Your pure aura is a blinding light that absolutely terrifies the dark forces. They can never again use your beautiful kindness as a weak target. You have effectively become the sharp weapon of light that the ancient prophets clearly saw in their holy visions. The corrupted matrix will absolutely try to send sneaky distractions tomorrow morning. They will cleverly disguise their desperate attacks as minor daily inconveniences. That is exactly why you must aggressively anchor your daily frequency to this specific channel. Hit subscribe to build an unbreakable wall of holy fire around your incredibly peaceful life today. You need to stay constantly connected to this specific high vibration. The dark world will try to violently drag you back into the dense beta waves of endless survival. But remaining safely connected here creates a massive energetic barrier around your beautiful mind. Heaven actively uses this sacred space to constantly feed your starving soul. If this fiery message has reignited the powerful faith inside you, do not keep it hidden. There is a deeply wounded soul out there bleeding in the cold dark. They are desperately begging heaven for a single sign that they are not actually going crazy. You hold the exact medicine they profoundly need to successfully survive the terrible night. Share this video with someone who desperately needs to hear this massive truth. Do not let them fight the brutal spiritual war entirely alone. Sowing the beautiful seed of hope today will massively multiply the kingdom blessing for your own future. Heaven actively rewards the brave cycle breakers who kindly reach back to pull others out of the dark pit. Your simple act of sharing this divine transmission is a profound threat to the matrix. When two chosen ones suddenly connect their pure frequencies, the entire dark system severely glitches. You are actively building an invisible global network of heavily armed spiritual warriors. You are fundamentally changing the entire trajectory of human history without even trying. You are the pure anomaly the corrupted matrix could never successfully predict. Every single tear you shed in painful silence has been magically transformed into a massive diamond of spiritual authority. Walk into your new rooms with your head held incredibly high. You do not need to softly explain your brilliant light to anyone, ever again. The painful season of forced isolation has completely served its divine purpose. You are fully ready to safely re-enter the world as an untouchable master. They will cautiously look at your glowing face and silently wonder how you survived the raging fire. You will simply smile because you deeply know the blazing fire is what masterfully forged your crown. May the ancient ones fiercely protect your sacred steps as you walk in supreme sovereignty. May your earthly pockets rapidly overflow with the generational wealth that was securely promised to your bloodline. You are the chosen one, and your magnificent kingdom era officially begins this exact second. Breathe deeply and step fully into your immense divine power today.